Imagine manifesting millions not through effort, but through an effortless, profound shift in your inner world. The shocking reveal today isn't another affirmation technique. It's a precise methodology by Neville Goddard that bypasses intellectual understanding. We're diving deep into the felt reality of abundance, showing you how to embody the state of wealth now, to manifest it with unbelievable speed. My friend, you are standing at the threshold of a great discovery. I am not here to tell you to work harder in the world of shadows, but to awaken the Creator within you. Let us begin this journey into the only reality that matters, your inner world. Have you ever wondered why, despite repeating "I am wealthy" 1,000 times, your bank account remains stubbornly unchanged? Imagine the frustration of a man standing in the pouring rain, shouting at the dark clouds to stop, while he refuses to step inside the warmth of the house. That is the affirmation trap. It is a world of noise without a world of feeling. Most manifestation techniques fail because they are born from a state of wanting rather than being. In these lectures, we must address the fundamental error, the belief that the external world is something to be conquered. When you use positive affirmations without the corresponding feeling, you are merely practicing an empty intellectual exercise. You are like a life coach shouting at a stone wall, expecting it to turn into bread. This is why the law of attraction feels like an exhausting struggle for the average entrepreneur. It feels hollow because the subconscious knows you are lying to it. To understand why your affirmations fail, you must first understand the relationship between the two minds. Next, I would like to touch upon the guardian at the gate, your conscious analytical mind. This part of you is the observer. It looks at the bills, it counts the pennies, and it judges by what it sees. It is the Thomas of the Bible, the doubter who refuses to believe what he cannot touch. When you say "I am a millionaire" while staring at a $5 balance, your conscious mind immediately rejects the statement. It screams, "No, you are not." This rejection creates a state of internal conflict. This conflict is the reason for your failure. The subconscious, which I often call the womb of creation, is entirely impersonal. It does not judge. It only accepts what is impressed upon it with feeling. If you speak of wealth but feel the sting of poverty, the subconscious accepts the sting, not the word. It brings to harvest the feeling of lack because that is the seed you have actually planted. The shocking reveal, God is your imagination. The shocking reveal that many are not ready to hear is this: God, which is your own wonderful human imagination, does not respond to words. It does not hear your pleas, your beggar's prayers, or your list of demands. It responds only to the felt reality. In the world of metaphysics, we learn that I am is the name of God. Whatever you attach to that I am becomes your reality. If you say "I am wealthy," but your inner conviction is "I am struggling," you have cursed yourself. The critical difference between intellectual belief and true success is the depth of your conviction. We are moving beyond affirmations and into Neville Goddard's revolutionary concept, the awareness that feeling is the secret. The psychology of the old man. Imagine you are trying to pour new wine into an old bottle. The old man is your past self, the collection of all your old habits, your old fears about money, and your old stories about why you haven't succeeded yet. This version of you is addicted to the feeling of not having enough. When you begin to manifest, the old man will fight for his life. He will use your senses to prove you wrong. He will point to the news, to the business trends, and to your history of failure. Most people give up here. They think the law isn't working, but I tell you, the law is always working. It is currently manifesting the reality of your doubts. To manifest millions, you must be willing to die to the old man. You must turn your back so completely on the evidence of your senses that the old reality literally withers away for lack of attention. The difference between thinking of and thinking from this is the most vital distinction in all my teachings. Most people think of their desire. They look at the millions as something out there, something to be attained in the future. But the future is a lie. There is only the eternal now. To manifest, you must move into the state of thinking from. Imagine you are already the person who possesses the millions. How does that person think? They don't think of money. They think from a state of security. They don't wonder if they can afford something. They simply decide whether they want it. You can feel the difference in your chest. One is a state of tension and reach. The other is a state of relaxation and possession. Why millions require a new language? Next, I would like to touch upon the language of the soul. The soul does not speak in English, Spanish, or French. It speaks in the language of frequency and flow. When you are in a state of meditation, you are communicating with the source. If you want to manifest a specific result, perhaps a success story that rivals Napoleon Hill's greatest examples, you must learn to speak this language. You do this by capturing the aroma of the success. Imagine you are walking through your new home. Don't describe it in words. Feel the cool marble under your feet. Feel the happiness in your heart as you look at your family enjoying the fruits of your purpose. This is the felt reality that the subconscious cannot ignore. The trap of the how. The final reason affirmations fail is the how. The moment you ask, how will I get the money? You have exited the state of the wish fulfilled. The how belongs to the subconscious. It has ways and means that you, with your limited intellectual mind, could never devise. You must have the courage to stay in the feeling of the end and let the world of shadows catch up to you. Whether you are an entrepreneur starting a new venture or a seeker looking for a life coach, the rule is the same. The end contains the means. When you embody the feeling of the millionaire, you will find yourself moved to take the right actions at the right time. You will move with unbelievable speed because you are no longer fighting the current. You have become the current. Can you imagine a world where your business grows not because of hustle or frantic activity, but because you have already seen the harvest in the quiet of your own heart? In these lectures, we learn that to manifest millions, you must learn the art of the sacred bypass. You must learn to go around the analytical mind, that loud, judgmental part of you that counts your pennies, looks at the rising debts, and constantly doubts your purpose. The limitation of the senses. The intellect is a fine servant but a terrible master. It is essentially a recording device of the past. It knows what you earned last year, it knows your current credit score, and it knows the reality of the market. Because the intellect is limited to what the five senses can perceive, it is incapable of seeing the infinite possibilities of the future. It is a closed loop. To manifest, you must break this loop. Next, I would like to touch upon the law of reversal. Most people believe that seeing is believing. I tell you that believing is seeing. The metaphysics of wealth requires you to deny the evidence of your senses and look with the single eye of the imagination. If you stay in the intellect, you are trapped in a world of shadows. To enter the world of success, you must bypass the brain and enter the heart. The art of the mental movie. How do we bypass this analytical gatekeeper? We do it through a precise methodology of construction. You do not just wish for money. You construct a scene that implies you have already achieved it. Imagine you are the director of a film. You do not need to show the entire 2-hour story of how you became a millionaire. You only need to film the end scene. This scene must be short, simple, and contain a sensory action. Example 1. Instead of imagining the process of a complex business deal, imagine the feeling of a firm handshake from a partner who says, "Congratulations on this massive success." Example 2. Imagine sitting at a table with your family and hearing them say, "We are so proud of the legacy you have built." When you focus on this end scene, the intellect is bypassed because you aren't asking how it happened. You are simply experiencing the fact that it has happened. You move into a state of flow where the law of assumption takes over. You are no longer trying to get money. You are clothed in the feeling of being a multimillionaire now. The state akin to sleep, SATS. Next, I would like to touch upon the physical state required for this bypass. In my teachings, I call this the state akin to sleep. Your analytical mind is strongest when you are wide awake and moving. To reach the subconscious, you must quiet the body. Imagine you're lying in bed or sitting in a comfortable chair. You relax your muscles until you feel a heavy, drowsy, but controlled sensation. In this twilight state, the barrier between the conscious and subconscious is its thinnest. This is where you plant your seeds of wealth. If you try to manifest while you are stressed or rushing, the intellect will fight you. But in the SATS, the intellect is sleepy. It doesn't have the energy to argue with you when you imagine holding that $1 million check. You can feel the reality of it much more clearly when the world of shadows is hushed. The power of naturalness. The biggest mistake many make when attempting to bypass the intellect is making the scene too big or too miraculous. If the scene feels impossible, your intellect will snap back awake to mock you. The secret to a successful bypass is naturalness. Tony Robbins or Napoleon Hill might talk about peak states, but I tell you that the most effective manifestation feels natural. It should feel like something that is simply you. When you imagine your success stories, don't make them feel like a distant dream. Make them feel like a present fact. If you were a millionaire, would you be jumping up and down in shock every single day? No, you would feel a quiet sense of security. You would feel a deep, calm happiness. This natural feeling is the frequency that the subconscious recognizes. It is the language of the secret. Bypassing the how and the when. The intellect's favorite weapons are the words how and when. It uses these to keep you in a state of anxiety. How will you find the entrepreneurial idea? When will the money actually show up? You must realize that the how and the when are none of your business. The subconscious has a bridge of incidents, a series of events that will lead you to your goal, which no man can see. By staying in the end, you are using a precise methodology that forces the world to change. Whether you are listening to this as an audiobook or reading it in my lectures, the instruction remains. Occupy the state of the wish fulfilled. Moving toward the emotional core as we move forward, remember, the intellect is for navigating the world of effects. The imagination is for creating the world of causes. By bypassing the analytical mind, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You become the master of your fate. You are moving from a seeker of motivation to a possessor of reality. Next, I would like to touch upon the emotional resonance required to make these scenes stick. It is not enough to see. You must feel. You must move from a visual image to a felt reality of abundance. What would it feel like if you were already the person you want to be? Imagine you waking up tomorrow morning, not with the heavy burden of how to pay the bills, but with the quiet, sturdy confidence of a man who has millions in the bank. Tony Robbins or Napoleon Hill might speak of strategy and massive action, but I tell you of the secret power of the meditation state, the power to capture a reality before the world even knows it exists. The substance of the invisible. In the world of metaphysics, we are taught that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But what is that substance? The substance is feeling. If you can feel a thing, it is real, regardless of what your physical eyes tell you. Most people make the mistake of waiting for the physical money to arrive before they allow themselves to feel the happiness and security of wealth. I tell you that the feeling is the money. The feeling is the creative spark that calls the physical atoms into form. Next, I would like to touch upon why feeling is more powerful than visualizing. You can visualize a mountain of gold all day, but if your heart feels like a beggar, the subconscious will only produce more beggary. Visualization is a sketch. Feeling is the solid house. You can feel the difference between a daydream and a felt reality. One is a fantasy you are looking at, the other is a state you are living in. The midnight transformation, using sleep as a portal. When you go to sleep, do not carry the day's worries, the business failures, or the world's lack into your bed. The state of sleep is the most sacred moment of your 24 hours. It is the moment the conscious mind, the doubter, drops its guard, and the subconscious, the womb of creation, becomes wide open. Imagine you are an artist preparing a canvas. Instead of thinking about your problems, use these sleep stories of your own creation to imagine the success stories of your future. You must enter the state of sleep as if you are already the person you want to be. Do not say, "I will be rich." That only pushes wealth into a future that never arrives. Instead, feel the luxury of your sheets. Feel the silence of a house that is fully paid for. Feel the purpose of a life that is no longer dictated by survival. This is how you achieve unbelievable speed. By falling asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are impressing your desire upon the creative power of the universe at its most fertile moment. By a law as certain as gravity, the world must rearrange itself to match the state you occupied at the moment of sleep. The tonal reality of wealth. To make this meditation real, you must move beyond sight. Next, I would like to touch upon the sensory vividness of your new life. If you want to manifest millions, you must learn to touch the money in your imagination. Imagine you are sitting in your new office. What is the tone of that room? Is there the smell of expensive coffee or fresh flowers? You can feel the weight of your hand on a mahogany desk. Imagine you are picking up a phone and hearing a voice you trust. Perhaps a life coach or a mentor, saying, "I am so impressed by your entrepreneurial growth." Hear the specific vibration of their voice. When you add sound, touch, and scent to your internal world, the subconscious is tricked into believing the event is happening now. It cannot distinguish between a real physical sensation and a vividly imagined one. This is the precise methodology of the masters. This is why Joel Osteen or Abraham Hicks emphasize the vibration of a state. It is the sensory tone that anchors the manifestation in the 3D world. Relief, the ultimate wealth frequency. If I had to give you one word to focus on, it would be relief. Imagine you have been struggling to make a business work, and suddenly you receive a notification that you have just closed a deal for 7 figures. What is the very first thing you feel? It isn't excitement or jumping for joy. It is a deep, soul-shaking exhale of relief. It is done. It is finished. This relief is the frequency of the law of assumption. When you feel relieved, you are no longer trying or wanting, you are having. This is the path to true entrepreneurial freedom. If you can find the feeling of relief during your meditation and carry it with you like a garment, you become a magnet for abundance. The money will hunt you down. Opportunities will seek you out. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time because your internal felt reality is leading the way. Living the success story. Before the world sees it next, I would like to touch upon the interval of time between the feeling and the fact. Many people start this process but give up when the money doesn't appear in 48 hours. They say, "The secret doesn't work." But I tell you, a seed takes time to grow under the earth before it breaks the surface. You must remain faithful to the felt reality. If you feel like a millionaire for 5 minutes but feel like a pauper for the other 23 hours of the day, you are constantly uprooting your own crop. You must sustain the resonance of your wealth. Imagine you are a traveler who has already seen the destination from a mountaintop. Even when you are walking in the valley and cannot see the city, you know it is there because you have seen it and felt it. The world of shadows will eventually catch up. It must. Your only job is to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled until it becomes your natural home. Whether you are listening to this as an audiobook or reading these lectures, the command remains the same. Feel the reality of your desire until it feels more real than the world outside your window. My friend, we move now into the very heart of the law of assumption. To manifest, you must understand that the world you see with your eyes is not the cause of your life, but the reflection of your internal state. It is a world of effects. If you wish to change your business, your bank account, or your happiness, you must first change the I am within you. You must go to the source of the shadow if you wish to change the shadow's shape, the divine name. I am. Imagine you are standing before a grand mirror. If you do not like the expression on your face, you do not reach out and try to paint a smile on the glass. That would be foolishness. Yet that is exactly what the average entrepreneur does when they try to hustle their way to success without changing their inner conviction. They are trying to change the mirror instead of the man. In these lectures, I teach that I am is the name of God within you. It is your awareness. Whatever you attach to that I am, you become. If you say, I am struggling, I am tired, or I am poor, you are commanding the universe to bring you more of those experiences. You must learn to guard that I am with your life. Why settle for crumbs when you were born to feast? The radical truth is that your current feeling state is the architect of your future reality. You do not get what you want, you get what you are. Moving from thinking of to thinking from next, I would like to touch upon the most critical mental shift you will ever make. The movement from thinking of a goal to thinking from the goal. When you think of millions, you are looking at the money as something separate from you. It is over there in the future. This creates a psychological gap, and as long as that gap exists, the manifestation cannot reach you. To think from the goal, you must mentally occupy the state of the multimillionaire. Now imagine you are already the person who has achieved it all. You are not looking at the luxury car. You are looking from the driver's seat. You are not looking at the bank balance. You are looking from the feeling of security that the balance provides. This is the metaphysics of success that Napoleon Hill and Tony Robbins touch upon, but we go deeper. We go to the very core of your conscious awareness. The bridge of incidents, the how, is not your business. One of the greatest hurdles for the entrepreneur is the desire to know how the money will come. Your analytical mind wants a 10-step plan. But I tell you, when you truly embody the wish fulfilled, you set in motion what I call the bridge of incidents. The bridge of incidents is a series of seemingly accidental, natural events that lead you to your goal. Imagine you decide to take a different route to work, and you happen to meet a person who becomes your lead investor. Or perhaps you feel a sudden urge to buy an audiobook that contains the one idea that sparks a multi-million-dollar business. From the outside, these look like luck, but from the inside, you know they were the inevitable result of your law of assumption. You must trust this bridge. If you try to force the how, you interfere with the flow. Your only job is to stay in the feeling of the end. The subconscious has ways and means that the conscious mind cannot even conceive of. It will move people, change markets, and open doors that were previously locked, all to match the I am you have claimed. The garment of the new reality. Imagine you have been wearing a heavy tattered coat of poverty for years. It is familiar, but it is stifling. To manifest millions, you must take off that old coat and put on the garment of wealth. This garment isn't made of fabric. It is made of feeling. You can feel it right now. Next, I would like to touch upon how to keep this garment on. Most people put it on during their meditation for 10 minutes, but as soon as they see a bill, they rip it off. and put the old rags back on. You must stay clothed in the feeling of the wish fulfilled regardless of what the world tells you. If the bank says you have no money, you must silently say, I have a source the world knows not of. If the business looks slow, you must feel the happiness of the coming harvest. You are not being delusional, you are being faithful to the only reality that matters, the spiritual reality. This is the path to purpose, wealth, and the ultimate realization of the promise. The paradox of effortless effort. This is why I say this precise methodology is effortless. It is not about the effort of the muscles, but the effort of the attention. Imagine you are trying to hold a beautiful, fleeting scent in your nose. You don't strain your muscles, you simply focus your attention. To manifest, you do not need to will it into existence. You only need to accept it as a present fact. When you truly accept that you are a millionaire, you stop trying so hard. You stop the hustle of the desperate and begin the inspired action of the master. You can feel the tension leave your shoulders. In this state of relaxation, you are most powerful. You are in the flow of abundance that Abraham Hicks or Joel Osteen speak of. But you are anchored in the surgical precision of the law of assumption. The finality of it is done. As you end your meditation, you must reach a point of it is done. You should feel such a sense of reality that you no longer even want the money, because you already have it in your imagination. This is the secret of the ages. The moment you stop wanting is the moment the physical world begins to move. You have moved from a seeker to a possessor. How do you feel the weight of $1 million when your pockets are currently empty? It is a precise methodology that bypasses your physical senses and speaks directly to the creative center of your soul. Imagine you are a master musician. You do not wait for the concert to begin before you tune your instrument. You tune it in the silence of the dressing room. These exercises are how you tune your inner man to the frequency of wealth. The SATS technique, state akin to sleep. The cornerstone of my teachings is the state akin to sleep, SATS. Next, I would like to touch upon why this specific state is the portal to abundance. When you are wide awake, your analytical mind is like a loud, busy street. It is full of traffic, noise, and the facts of your current struggle. But as you drift towards sleep, the traffic clears. The analytical mind, the guardian, becomes drowsy and less judgmental. Imagine you are lying in your bed at night or sitting in a very comfortable armchair. You want to reach a state of physical immobility where you are so relaxed that you could move your arm if you had to, but you simply have no desire to do so. This is the twilight zone of the mind. In this state, you must begin to construct your end scene. For a millionaire entrepreneur, this scene should not be long or complicated. Imagine you are sitting with a trusted friend. They reach out, take your hand and say, I have never seen anyone achieve such a success story so quickly. It's incredible. You can feel the warmth of their hand. You hear the sincerity in their voice. You don't imagine the millions. You imagine the result of the millions. You repeat this short scene no more than 5 or 10 seconds over and over until it takes on the tones of reality. You are not watching a movie, you are in the movie. The thank you loop, the power of gratitude. If you find it difficult to visualize a specific scene, there is a second equally powerful method. Next, I would like to touch upon the thank you loop. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. You do not say thank you for something you're waiting for. You say it for something you have already received. Imagine you are in that drowsy sat state. Instead of a visual scene, you simply adopt the feeling of being the luckiest, most successful person you know. You repeat 2 words like a lullaby, thank you, or as I often suggest in my lectures, it is wonderful, it is wonderful. You must not say the words with your lips, you must feel them with your heart. You can feel a surge of relief and happiness rising in your chest. By doing this, you are telling your subconscious that the wonderful thing has already happened. The subconscious doesn't ask what it is. It simply looks at the feeling and produces a physical reality that matches that level of gratitude. This is how you manifest millions, by simply claiming the state of the wish fulfilled. The tonal reality, sensory vividness. To truly manifest with unbelievable speed, you must move beyond a flat mental image. Next, I would like to touch upon tonal reality. This is the secret of making an imaginary act feel more real than the room you are sitting in. Imagine you want to manifest a specific luxury. Perhaps a new business headquarters or a high-end car. Don't just look at it in your mind. Imagine you are standing in that space. You can feel the cool air of the air conditioning on your skin. Reach out and touch the fabric of the chair. Is it leather? Is it velvet? You can feel the texture against your fingertips. If your goal is financial, imagine you are holding a bank statement. Don't just look at the numbers. Feel the weight of the paper. Smell the ink. Imagine you are picking up a pen to sign a check for a large charitable donation. Feel the resistance of the pen against the paper. This sensory tone is what the subconscious uses to ground the dream into the physical world. This is the metaphysics of wealth that moves you from a dreamer to a possessor. The I remember when technique. For the entrepreneur currently facing a challenge, you must use the I remember when technique to break the spell of the current fact. Imagine you are talking to a friend 3 years from now. You can feel the comfort of your current wealth. You say to them, I remember when I used to worry about how to make money. I remember when I was stressed about that old business debt. By saying, I remember when, you are mentally placing your current problems in the past. You are telling your subconscious that the struggle is over. This is a powerful form of motivation that rewires your brain to look for success stories instead of failures. Why you don't fake it until you make it. Many life coaches tell you to fake it until you make it, but I tell you that is a mistake. Faking implies that it isn't real. In the law of assumption, you are not faking. You are appropriating a reality that already exists in the world of imagination. Imagine you are a traveler who has reached a destination. You aren't faking being there. You are actually there. By using these exercises, you are not lying to yourself. You are telling a deeper truth. You are claiming your divine right as a creator. You are moving into the flow of abundance that Abraham Hicks, Joel Osteen, and Napoleon Hill describe, but with a surgical sensory precision that few understand. Sustaining the state. The final part of this exercise is what you do after you open your eyes. Next, I would like to touch upon the afterglow. When you finish your meditation, do not jump up and check your bank account to see if the money has arrived. That is like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. You must carry the feeling of the exercise with you as you go about your day. Imagine you are wearing a secret, invisible crown. You can feel the weight of it. It changes the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you treat your business associates. When you stay in this afterglow, the world of shadows has no choice but to rearrange itself to match the royal state you have assumed. It is done. It is finished. Beyond visualization, sustaining the resonance, many can imagine for 5 minutes in the silence of their room, but few can embody that state for the remaining 24 hours of the day. This, my friend, is the singular difference between a fleeting dreamer and a truly wealthy entrepreneur. To manifest millions, you must move beyond the occasional act of visualization and into a state of permanent, deliberate, sustained emotional resonance with your financial goal. The mental diet, your inner conversation. Next, I would like to touch upon your mental diet. Just as your physical body is the result of the food you consume, your external reality is the result of the thoughts you entertain. Most people believe their thoughts are private and have no power, but I tell you that every I am that passes through your mind is a creative act. Imagine you spend 10 minutes in meditation feeling rich, but the rest of your day is spent complaining about the price of groceries, judging the wealth of others, or worrying about your business expenses. You are essentially building a beautiful temple in the morning and tearing it down brick by brick in the afternoon. You must realize that your inner speech, the conversation you carry on with yourself in the silence of your own heart, is the most potent form of manifestation. If you want to manifest, your inner dialogue must match your wish fulfilled. If you are a millionaire, you do not talk to yourself about being broke. You do not look for sales out of fear. You look for value out of wisdom. You can feel the shift in your internal resonance when you align your secret thoughts with your public desires. This is the metaphysics of success that requires a 24-hour commitment to your new identity. The power of inner speech. Imagine you are walking down the street. In your mind, you are congratulating yourself. You are talking to your friends in your imagination, and they are telling you how much they admire your success stories. This is not daydreaming. This is a controlled mental exercise. Next, I would like to touch upon the imaginary conversation. One of the most effective ways to sustain your resonance is to hold conversations with people you know, but only in your mind. Imagine you are hearing your bank manager's voice on the phone. Do not try to hear it. Feel the vibration of the voice as they tell you that your recent deposit has cleared. This keeps you in the flow of abundance. If you can control your inner speech, you can control your world. As Napoleon Hill or Tony Robbins might suggest, focus is key, but I go further. Your internal words are the blueprints of your physical rooms. Standing unmoved by the world of shadows. What would it feel like to be so grounded in your wealth that no bad news could shake you? To manifest millions, you must reach a point of unshakable conviction. This means that when the world of shadows, the physical 3D world, presents you with a challenge, you do not react. Imagine you are a traveler who has already seen the destination from a high mountaintop. If you descend into a valley and a fog rolls in, do you turn around and say the city is gone? Of course not. You continue walking because you have the evidence of things not seen. Your memory of the mountaintop is more real than the fog in the valley. You must treat your meditation like that mountaintop. When the fog of a slow business week or a rejected deal appears, you must remain unmoved. You can feel a quiet, secret smile in your heart because you know the truth. You are not manifesting. You are witnessing the unfolding of a state you have already occupied. This is the law of assumption in its most mature form. It is the realization of the promise that your imagination is the only true reality. Standing unmoved by the world of shadows. What would it feel like to be so grounded in your wealth that no bad news could shake you? To manifest millions, you must reach a point of unshakable conviction. This means that when the world of shadows, the physical 3D world, presents you with a challenge, you do not react. Imagine you are a traveler who has already seen the destination from a high mountaintop. If you descend into a valley and a fog rolls in, do you turn around and say the city is gone? Of course not. You continue walking because you have the evidence of things not seen. Your memory of the mountaintop is more real than the fog in the valley. You must treat your meditation like that mountaintop. When the fog of a slow business week or a rejected deal appears, you must remain unmoved. You can feel a quiet, secret smile in your heart because you know the truth. You are not manifesting. You are witnessing the unfolding of a state you have already occupied. This is the law of assumption in its most mature form. It is the realization of the promise that your imagination is the only true reality. The discipline of the master. Sustaining the resonance is an act of spiritual discipline. It is a form of meditation that you perform with your eyes wide open. You are the gardener of your mind. If a weed of doubt appears, do not fight it. That only gives it energy. Instead, Look away. Turn your attention back to the happiness of your wish fulfilled. Whether you are an entrepreneur building a global brand or a student of metaphysics seeking personal happiness, the rule is absolute. You must stay in the state of the wish fulfilled until that state becomes your natural home. You must move from being a visitor in the state of wealth to being a permanent resident. When you achieve this, your external world will rearrange itself with a precision that will shock you. People will call you lucky. They will ask you for motivation and life coach advice. They will wonder how you found such purpose and success, but you will know the secret. You will know that the world is merely a mirror, and you have finally dared to see yourself as you truly wish to be. It is done. It is finished. To expand Chapter 7 into a 1,000-word masterclass for your Amazon paperback, we will focus on the garden of the subconscious, the story example of the physical check, and the surgical removal of mental blocks. This chapter moves the reader from the theory of feeling into the rewiring of their very identity. The Millionaire Mindset, rewiring your subconscious for abundance. Next, I would like to touch upon the internal machinery that governs your world, the subconscious mind. Imagine you are a gardener. Your conscious mind is the sower of seeds, but your subconscious is the rich, impartial soil. It does not care if you plant scarcity or million. It has no opinion on whether your desire is good or bad. It simply brings to harvest whatever you feel to be true. To manifest, you must stop watering the weeds of how will it happen and start living in the flow of it is done. The soil of the soul. The subconscious is the womb of creation. It is the bridge between your individual I am and the infinite intelligence of the universe. However, most entrepreneurs are trying to grow a harvest of wealth in soil that is packed with the rocks of old programming. You have spent years hearing that money is hard to make, or that you must sacrifice your happiness for success. These are not truths. They are merely old seeds. To shift your mindset, you must practice the precise methodology of ignoring the evidence of the senses. When you look at a bill, do not see a subtraction of your money. Instead, use the law of assumption to see it as a testimonial of your ability to pay. You can feel the shift in your gut when you move from the victim who owes money to the master who circulates it. Wealth is a frequency, not a figure. The story. Example, the physical check. In my lectures, I often tell the story example of a man who desperately desired a specific sum of money for a new business venture. He didn't look for a life coach, and he didn't spend his nights drafting desperate proposals. Instead, he sat in his quiet chair every night and imagined he was holding the physical check. He didn't just see the check. He felt the parchment. He smelled the ink. He felt the weight of the paper in his hands. Most importantly, he felt the relief of the deposit. He did this until the check felt more real to him than the chair he was sitting in. Within 3 weeks, through a chance encounter at a social event, a stranger offered him the exact funding he required. That is the power of the felt reality. He didn't work on the world of shadows. He worked on the subconscious soil, cultivating the inner dialogue of success. How to make money starts with how you talk to yourself in the silence of your own heart. You must cultivate an inner dialogue of success. The I remember when technique. If you are currently struggling, say to yourself, I remember when I used to worry about my bank account. This implies that the struggle is now in the past. It tricks the subconscious into accepting that you are currently in the state of financial freedom. The Entrepreneur's Meditation. Every morning, before you check your emails or the stock market, sit in the silence. Imagine you are already at the end of your day, looking back on a series of incredible wins. Feel the happiness of providing value to the world. Audiobook. Immersion. Surround yourself with the teachings of those who understood the law. Whether it is Napoleon Hill, Edward Art, or these Neville Goddard lectures, keep your mental diet focused on abundance. Overcoming the wall of resistance. Next, I would like to touch upon the wall of resistance. That when you aim for vast wealth, your old man, your old self will scream. He will tell you that you are a fraud or that the secret doesn't work for you. Imagine you are a captain of a ship. When the storm of doubt hits, do you abandon the ship? No. You hold the wheel tighter. These mental blocks are merely shadows. They have no power other than what you give them by reacting to them. When you encounter self-sabotage, do not fight it. Fighting only makes the resistance real. Instead, imagine those doubts are like clouds passing over a clear blue sky. You are the sky, vast, unchanging, and already wealthy. You must address these blocks by returning to the meditation of the wish fulfilled. If you feel a block of unworthiness, ask yourself, how would I feel right now if I were already the person I want to be? The moment you catch that feeling, the resistance dissolves like salt in water. This is how you manifest millions with unbelievable speed. You are not fixing the world. You are rewiring the observer of the world. The habit of abundance. Rewiring the subconscious is not a one-time event, it is a habit. Next, I would like to touch upon the naturalness of your new mindset. If being a millionaire feels too big or impossible, it is because you are still viewing it from the perspective of the old man. Imagine you are wearing a new pair of shoes. At first they may feel stiff, but the more you walk in them, the more they conform to your feet until you forget you are even wearing them. Your millionaire mindset must become that comfortable. You should reach a point where wealth feels as natural as breathing. In this state, there is no effort. There is only the flow of abundance that Abraham Hicks, Joel Osteen, and Tony Robbins speak of. But it is anchored in the surgical spiritual truth that feeling is the secret. Your next million, actionable steps and living from the end. My friend, we have reached the pinnacle of our journey together. It is one thing to understand the law intellectually. It is quite another to walk in the garment of your new reality every single day. Next, I would like to touch upon the specific rhythmic movements you must make to ensure your dream becomes a physical fact. You are no longer a student. You are now the architect. The role of a lifetime. Imagine you are an actor who has just been given the role of a lifetime. If you were cast as a king, you wouldn't just read the script once and put it away. You would inhabit the character until you forgot where the actor ended and the royalty began. You would study how a king sits, how he speaks, and how he views his kingdom. This is exactly how you must approach your financial transformation. To manifest, you do not act like a millionaire. You become the consciousness of one. This is the ultimate metaphysics of success. You can feel the shift in your spine and your gaze the moment you accept this role as your true identity. Your next million, actionable steps and living from the end. My friend, we have reached the pinnacle of our journey together. It is one thing to understand the law intellectually. It is quite another to walk in the garment of your new reality every single day. Next, I would like to touch upon the specific rhythmic movements you must make to ensure your dream becomes a physical fact. You are no longer a student. You are now the architect. The role of a lifetime. Imagine you are an actor who has just been given the role of a lifetime. If you were cast as a king, you wouldn't just read the script once and put it away. You would inhabit the character until you forgot where the actor ended and the royalty began. You would study how a king sits, how he speaks, and how he views his kingdom. This is exactly how you must approach your financial transformation. To manifest, you do not act like a millionaire. You become the consciousness of one. This is the ultimate metaphysics of success. You can feel the shift in your spine and your gaze the moment you accept this role as your true identity. The step-by-step daily integration. To make the feeling of the secret your natural habitat, follow this precise sequence every day. Consistency is the only bridge between a dream and a success story. The morning inauguration. Before you even open your eyes, you can feel the weight of success. Do not jump into the day's tasks or check your phone. Spend those first few minutes in the silence simply whispering, "Thank you." Let the relief of having already achieved your millions wash over you like a warm tide. This sets the tonal scale for your entire day. The sensory anchor. Throughout your day, find a physical object, perhaps a ring on your finger or the steering wheel of your car, and imagine you are touching the luxury you have already claimed. Let that physical touch trigger the inner feeling of total security. This is your return to center, the twilight revision. As you lay your head down at night, review the day. If a moment did not go as you wished, if a business deal stalled or you felt a moment of lack, rewrite it in your mind. Imagine it happened exactly as the person you intend to be would have experienced it. This cleanses your subconscious soil before you enter the state of sleep. Sustaining the feeling amidst the storm. Next, I would like to touch upon what happens when the world of shadows tries to convince you that nothing has changed. There will be moments when the mail brings a bill or a deal falls through. In those moments, you must remember your senses are liars. They are only reporting the past version of you. Imagine you are a traveler who has already seen the destination from a mountaintop. If the path below becomes foggy, do you turn back and say the destination has vanished? No! You walk with the inner certainty of what you have seen. You can feel the presence of your wealth even when the bank statement says otherwise. Persistence is the only difference between a dreamer and a master. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Simply look past it. You are not waiting for money to arrive. You are waiting for the world to catch up to the fact that you already have it. The ultimate transformation, living from the end. The final and most profound step in our lectures is the transition from thinking of being a millionaire to living from the state of being one. This is the full body assumption. Imagine you no longer have to wonder how to pay for your desires or if you are worthy of happiness. How would you walk into a room? How would you breathe? How would you treat others? You can feel a profound shift in your posture and your tone of voice. You become more generous, more relaxed, and more certain. This is the flow of abundance that authors like Napoleon Hill and Tony Robbins speak of, a state of inspired action. You don't work to get, you work because it is the natural expression of who you are. The bridge of incidents in action. When you live from the end, you are no longer chasing the horizon, you are the horizon itself. People will ask you for your motivation secrets, and life coaches will want to study your purpose. They will see your wealth and call it luck, but you will know it was the law of assumption. Next, I would like to touch upon the inspired impulse. When you are in the state of the wish fulfilled, you will feel a sudden urge to do something, to call a specific person, to visit a certain place, or to start a new business project. Do not hesitate. This is the bridge of incidents manifesting in your physical world. You are being moved like a piece on a divine chessboard to the position of checkmate. Final conclusion. The promise fulfilled. As we conclude this journey, I want you to remember that the power to change your world is not in my words, but in your feeling. You are the creator. You are the I am. The millions you seek are not out there to be found. They are in here to be claimed. Imagine the version of you who has finished reading this book or watching this video. You can feel that something has changed forever. You no longer hope. You no longer want. You have. The world has no choice but to reflect back to you the man or woman you have become in the secret places of your heart. Go forth and claim your wealth, your success, and your happiness. It is your birthright. It is done. It is finished.